Raymond, hey, congratulations for Dust for a Hitman.
Thank you.
It is such a thrilling movie. I did not know what to expect because I didn't know about the real story. But how did this story came about with you?
Yeah, well, it's an old story for me, like the film. It's a 40-year-old story. I was trying to find a subject to make to write a feature with Martin Girard, and I just came back to my teens, and I needed something solid that could carry for a few years, something that fascinated me. And when I was in my 20s, these events were actually happening around me, and I was very interested at the time. I read the articles in the newspaper, watched interviews, read the few books that were published. So and I want to do gangster movie. It's a genre I like very much. When I was young, I was a big fan of the 70s American gangster movies. I went to the movie theater and watched Don Siegel movies when they came out, actually. So it's a genre I like. So I had this. I had a great subject, and in a genre that I loved. So we went along, and of course, you need a great character, and this Donald Lavoie guy was very fascinating. Was a handsome man, brilliant man, great charisma, also a monster. So all this makes for a good character, and also he switched sides, became a great witness for the prosecution, and then after his jail time, he just disappeared and never committed crime again. So you have everything in there, that makes a good story. Great character, crime, redemption, maybe that we'll never know.
You got the whole formula down. So what surprised you about Donald Lavoie for yourself while making this project?
What? I'm sorry. What? Can you
What
ask
surprised you?
about Donald Lavoie? Well, never met him, but uh, well, it's curious how you. I think the man was first and foremost a narcissist. So, and I think you can never really know about these men. What I think they use people. They want. They use people for to gain something all the time. They're like puppeteers in their mind. They think they control everything, they control everyone, which they do not, but they still think they do. But you can really never know what's going on inside their mind. There's no truth with them. And I think that's always what fascinates me in these characters. At the end, did he do what he did just to save himself, for revenge? For his family, I don't think so. But you never know the real truth of these men, and that's what's fascinating. I think they don't even know their own truth themselves. So there's a complexity there that's very attractive, and that I never answered that
Mhm.
question. What was he really? What did he want really? And I think at the end, that's what's good. People will see the film and think, well, he's cynical. He got revenge and he used the system to get his freedom. Other will say, well, he had remorses and he was truthful, and he got redemption. So it's good. You don't need to know exactly what people are thinking, because in real life also, it's complex. People change their mind, and what do we know about people around us? We know what they give us.
I know. I do find the character very complex, but in the end, he is like the ultimate villain. He's a stone cold killer. So why is it so important to humanize him, to show his softer side? Especially like with his family and stuff.
Yeah, well, we tried to show his softer side, if he had one, as less as possible. Uh, well, I think our villains are human, and I think for our perspective, seeing him as a narcissist, it's like this character, if you remember, James Caan in Thief, Michael Mann's movie. He wants to have this family, this American dream. He sells car and he has this little postcard where he glued, a kid, a mother, house, and he uses crime to build this little thing that he dreams of, but it doesn't work. I think that's a bit the same with Donald. He dreamt of this ordinary life in the suburbs with his wife and kids, and but it takes a strange way to achieve this goal, and it doesn't work. So he's human, but he's a narcissist, and so you want the audience to kind of identify with him, see the world through his eyes, but you don't want them to have too much sympathy or empathy for him. He's not a good guy, and this balance is very tough to keep. As you go along, you want to be with him, but you don't want to love him. And like I said, I think we did achieve that, because we don't make him the hero in a sense. Sometimes you see gangster movies and he has his enemies, and at the end, you're cheering for the guy. Yeah, kill them all. And you go to the hero. Yeah, great, you killed them all. He won. And with the nun, it's different. You want him to do something right for once, but you're not cheering for him. And I think that's important. You shouldn't cheer for the killer.
That is true. And what was it like trying to create a period piece? I mean, you're talking about a time period and events that happened over 40 years ago.
Yeah, there's not much left from 40 years ago, since we on a budget scale we're pretty low budget compared to what in the United States. So I think we had to be careful of the details, little things, the way his house is set, the decor of his house, it was all done by Marina Nawa with very great attention to details, and you always have to remember that you work for the frame. You build this frame, you find an angle in the city that fits, and you don't move an inch, and you try to fill this canvas with authentic details. And then if you're very attentive to details, you can do it, you can make it. We had to erase a few things in post-production, some antennas and stuff that disappeared here and there, but mostly we with good research we found places that looked true for the period.
True that. And one last thing, you've done excellent by casting Eric into the Raymond role of Donald. So
Mhm.
so tell us why he was perfect and how you helped him, mold him to be that, that stone cold assassin that you wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, I think Eric was, it's a big role. He's in every scene of the film. So, but I think too. So he took it with all with seriousness, and came into the project. Wanted to work seriously on it. I suppose that's always what he does, but he came in very, very. He gave it a lot of time. We worked a lot together before the film. We sat down, read, reread, talked about every line, and finding motivations and why. So it's good process. Helps him, helps me also to find solid ground for the character and for the screenplay. So he worked a lot. We worked a lot. But Eric is a great actor. He has this. He has the charisma, but he can also express the dark side of a man. He has both. So he was. You feel the struggling in the character. All the time. I think it's him. It's something he can do. He gets. And actors go deep. The story. They go inside themselves and bring things from the past, from their own story, give the emotion the man is feeling. It's all illusion, but it's the complexity of this work. Find truth in something you have in your belly, and express this through your character. And he can do that, but he's good.
Well, your film is good. So
Oh,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much for speaking to us for Dust for a Hitman. I mean,
Thank you.
this is a fascinating story I didn't know before,
Yeah.
and it was scary times back then. If this
Oh, well,
so
it's amazing. I'm surprised of all these nice comments I get today. I'm very happy.
well, anyways, thank you very much, Raymond. Hopefully we
Thank
get to do
you.
this again. Thank you.
Thank you.